Okay. Bridging two worlds with Afra Abdeen, Assistant Sustainable Business Manager at Unilever, Southeast Asia and Australasia. Here's what I can tell you about Afra. Born in Sri Lanka, living in Sydney. She's a change maker, she is a dreamer, and she is a doer, passionate about enabling social change, believing that every system requires a little bit of healthy disruption and wanting to be at the forefront of making this disruption and making this change happen. She described her career as, quote, a series of fortunate events. She began her career as president of Enactus at Auckland University of Technology, where she quickly identified the magic that can be found when social enterprises and corporations work together to deliver fresh solutions to existing and complex problems. Comfortable navigating both worlds, she joined the Unilever Future Leaders program to help drive the business case for sustainability in the corporate space. Now Assistant Sustainable Business Manager for Unilever, Southeast Asia and Australasia, she harnesses her passion to build employee engagement and embed a purpose-driven business model through local implementation of the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan. She is the founder also of Oh That Be Good. That is at Oh That Be Good on Instagram. You can check that out. It is a blog and social media platform through which Afra combines her love of baking, photography and small business. She has what she terms a worldly accent. They were her words. She's described it as a pickle of all places that she calls home. Sri Lanka, Kiwi, Aussie, with a hint of British from her speech and drama training. She was also a competitive chess player back at school. Please put your hands together and welcome the supremely sustainable Afra Abdeen. Welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. It's almost like you told my story for me. Hi, everyone. I believe in the magic of possibility, and I see it in the power of ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And what a reinforcement today, all of the speakers that we've heard and everyone that we're going to hear throughout the day. I stand before you as Assistant Sustainable Business Manager for Unilever Southeast Asia. And 3 years ago, this job in this region did not exist. So let me tell you a story about my journey and how the business that I'm working for is working to create the world that I want to live in by 2030. As with all good journeys, mine has a catalyst, and that was my experience with Enactus. Enactus is a global network of student entrepreneurs who work to leverage the positive power of business and drive entrepreneurial solutions to challenges in their community. As president of Enactus AUT University, I was responsible for ensuring that all of our projects were grounded in the principles of social enterprise and empowered people in the communities. Now, are there any members from Enactus here today? Oh, that's a pity. So I can tell you a little bit more about the organization, but really what I want to say is Enactus is what started my love affair with sustainable business. It showed me the incredible potential that every single one of us has to address issues that were important to us, even as university students. It was not so much about whether our initiative succeeded or failed, but rather that we recognized in ourselves the ability to try and to keep trying. So, armed with this incredibly positive worldview, I went out to begin my job search. And that's when I encountered my first biggest hurdle, the dreaded job search bar. Now, I don't know if anyone else in the room can relate, but I find it really hard that I have to know the right words to put into a system so that it could tell me what it thinks I could keep doing to do what I love. Now, of course, I never got the right answers because I never put the right question into the system in the first place. And these are the moments in my life where a Tinder for jobs would have been perfect. Swipe left, swipe right. It knows what I need, right? Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But what it did do is challenge me to think about what's important to me. And I stepped back and I realized that I carry with me the spirit of a social entrepreneur. I'm also quite comfortable navigating the world of a corporate. And what I saw was a gap between these two worlds, where one has incredible ideas and the other resources to scale them. They both needed each other to unlock the greatest impact. And that's where I realized I could play my part, find my power, and unleash my magic. So I chose to join Unilever because I was intrigued by this business that had flipped their business model inside out, put purpose at the heart of it, and were wanting to change the way business was done. It was the hook that drew me in. Now, through a series of fortunate events where I persistently articulated my passion in sustainable business, I worked through the Unilever graduate program. And a year and a half later, was really lucky that a team was formed in Southeast Asia, dedicated to running the Sustainable Living Plan. I was invited to be part of it as one of the inaugural team members, and 18 months later today, I'm still there. So, if I think about what sort of world I want to live in by 2030, well, it's one in which every single one of us embraces our power as change agents, takes responsibility for the state of the world around us, and steps up to do something about it. It's not a world in which we're waiting for to-do lists, for permission, or for someone to say, it's okay, but rather all of us taking small actions every day, creating a ripple of change. I'm proud to be working for a company that recognizes power to act early on and took one small action that has led to some incredible change in the business landscape today. In 2010, Unilever launched its Sustainable Living Plan, a disruptive business model that showcased their commitment to harness the positive power of business and help make the planet and society thrive. Our vision is to grow our business whilst reducing our environmental impact and increasing our positive social impact. We then contributed to the development of the SDGs, bringing in a business lens to the agenda. And in 2015, the SDGs as we know it were born. A ripple of change had begun. When you take a close look at our plan, you'll see that it has many parallels to the world's KPIs. We have three big goals: improving health and hygiene and well-being, reducing environmental impact, and enhancing the livelihoods of millions. These three goals are underpinned by 9 focal areas, which we're working to achieve with over 50 targets. Today, we're well on our way to achieving them. And if you draw a link between the SDGs and our plan, you'll find that we can trace a direct link to 14 SDGs through our business model. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are thinking about this already. There's a central tension as we think about our future, and that's between purpose and profit. As a consumer goods company, we're fundamentally here to sell more product. So how does that fit with our purpose of making sustainable living commonplace? Because we're really encouraging more consumerism. Well, it's a big question, and one that we don't have all the simple answers to. But what we can say is that this tension between purpose and profit, we see as a good thing, because it drives us to come up with the most creative solutions to some of the challenges that are in our business today. Where most people see this as an either-or situation, we see it as and. And it's a reason that some of our business results, 70% of our growth coming from brands with purpose, is there today. Now, whilst there's a lot to celebrate, we also recognize that there's more to do. And we can't do this alone. Together, we can change the way the world does business. The future of our business lies in creating an ecosystem for change. One in which the humble soap in your home is transforming the value chain, where a delicious meal for one is a livelihood for another, and where big business can work with small to create thriving communities. This is where the next step of our journey lies, creating an interconnected network of people, embracing their power, taking responsibility, and stepping up to do something about it. So, if I can encourage you to take one action today, it's to vote with your wallet. As someone that crunches the numbers and being in the room with others that do, I promise you we notice. Lend your voice to issues that matter. Leverage the power of technology that's in all of your hands. And if you have a big burning idea that with the support of big business can create meaningful transformation of systems, then join the Unilever Young Entrepreneurs Awards. Because the most powerful force in the world is an idea. And because anything is possible if you embrace your magic. Thank you.